Hello everyone. So a slightly different video today. Now today I thought I'll probably talk about why you should consider moving to UK, coming to UK for studies or for work or maybe for business. And I wanted to make this video so that I can give you my perspective, or in case you're thinking whether coming to UK is a good idea or not, then hopefully this video will help you. Now in this video I have done some preparation and I have made a list of 10 points to help you. Now the first point is that we all have one life, and I believe we should try to live it to the fullest. We should try to explore, and when you move from one country to another country, I think it is a wonderful opportunity because not only you will learn a lot about various things, but at the same time you're also exploring. You're also trying to move out of your comfort zone, because when you move to a different country, you will meet people from all across the globe. You will be working in a different, unfamiliar environment, and I think doing these things help a lot when it comes to growth, both personally and also career wise. At the same time, when you talk about moving to a different country, especially if you compare India, because I'm from India, if you compare India with UK, I don't really think you should compare, because it is really unfair. There are a lot of areas where UK is better. There are areas where India is better, and when you compare a country like India with UK, I think that is probably not what you should even think of doing. I mean, it is more about what all benefits, what all positive things that you will and you can potentially get when you move out. When you, of course, come to a country like UK. I mean, when I say UK, I'm talking about England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. So don't compare. Comparing is probably not a good idea. I mean, of course, when you do comparisons, you are probably comparing things that are not really relevant. For example, if you come from Delhi, and if you try to compare the weather, so there's no point of comparing the weather in in India, especially a hot country. Overall, India is definitely hot unless you are living in in a hill station. But I'm from Delhi, and I know temperature is usually 40 degrees around summertime, but right now it is outside 8 degrees. So it is never really that hot here in UK, most part of UK, and at the same time it is never really that cold in Delhi. Of course, we do have winters, but they are not really that long. So don't compare. Don't compare things that don't really matter at all, or shouldn't really matter. You should look at the positives. And if you are coming to UK, and if you are especially coming here for work, then you must be wondering about tax, because this is one question that people ask me quite a lot, that how much tax do I need to pay? And usually when you move to a country like UK or maybe US, I guess things are not that different. But if you talk about UK, then you can be paying a lot of tax. I mean, if you look at this particular website the uh, on the gov.uk, so this is the government website, and you can find all the information here. So you can see here that you can pay up to 40% usually. I mean, if you are earning, I mean, it depends on the salary, but if you're earning, let us say, £55,000, so you will be, I mean, based on, of course, the slab, you can pay up to 40%. I mean, if you're earning more, then of course you will pay 45%, which is definitely quite a lot. But at the same time, I would also say that although this may look bad, but it is not, because you can also earn a lot of money. I mean, as compared to similar or same level of experience. If you're coming from, let us say, India, and you have worked for 15 years and you're in IT, in India, I mean, depending upon your company or situation, you can be earning, let us say, 20 lakh, 20 lakh package, which It's decent. Your take home salary would be 1 lakh something, right? But in UK, for same level of experience, doing similar role, you can be earning maybe roughly 60,000, 70,000, which is of course decent. Even after paying tax, you will still end up earning uh, your take home salary would be definitely more than what you are earning in India. But of course, there are other expenses. I did talk about cost of living in UK, but overall, simple answer is that tax, you will pay more tax, but you can also earn a lot more. And talking about this is really interesting. Now, if you compare India with UK, social life is definitely very different. I mean, UK is not. I mean, if you are from India, you will probably miss India a lot. You will probably miss the festivals. You will probably miss your friends and family. You will definitely miss the chaos and the food and the traffic jams. I mean, I do miss it because I am from Delhi, and if you compare it with here, if I compare those things. I mean, first of all, I don't really have to compare. I shouldn't compare, but of course, you do miss things. Now, the thing is that apart from everything else, apart from this, social life aspect, which is definitely something that we Indians miss and will miss, uh, you also have the opportunity to uh, work, interact, and socialize with people from all over the globe. For example, I have a lot of friends who are French. I know people from Africa. I know people from US. I know people from Sweden. I know people from Tunisia. I know people from Iraq. And when I talk to them, when I got a chance to work with them, know a bit more about their life, their background, I think it opened up. I mean, it's not just about learning because, of course, I mean, learning has different aspects, but it's also about you open up. You also become much more. Uh, how do I say? Because if you compare someone who has lived in Delhi like me, I always lived in Delhi. I never really went out. I never really interacted with, for example, anyone from Gujarat. I never really interacted when anyone. To be honest, I don't really remember when I was in Delhi if I ever met anyone from Gujarat, right? And I also never met anyone from Pune or Bombay. I mean, uh, because I always lived in Delhi. Of course, I have been to Pune. I have been to Chennai, I have been to Bangalore, but for a long time, my interaction was never really from anyone outside Delhi or North India in general. So we have this. I mean, because when we have some, because when we are living in a situation or when we are living uh, in an environment where you only interact with people like you, then in a way, I think it is unconsciously going to limit your thinking. But when you uh, move out and when you interact with people, for example, when I came to UK, I met people from Gujarat for the very first time. Forget about other nationalities, but when you interact with them, you open up. You also are going to basically expand your horizon. I mean, this is something that I'm sure you will definitely enjoy. And now, after coming here, after interacting with people from so many other places in this world, I feel really good. I feel fortunate that yes, I did uh, get a chance to work with them, go out with them for drinks. Also, I got the opportunity to know more about their food, their culture, and it is really a very nice experience. Now, the next thing, which is definitely going to be this is one of my favorite reason. When you work, I mean, I talked about people from different nationalities, from different backgrounds, and when you're working from when you're working with people from all over the world, and you're working in a city like London, apart from the skills that you will probably acquire, apart from the things that you will learn, like let us say technical things, because I am a technical person, it's also about the confidence because after I mean, of course, in the last 5 years, I don't really think I learned anything extraordinary. I mean, because I could have done it from anywhere, but I think I'm a bit more confident when I look at myself. When I look at myself uh, from 5 years from now, and now, of course, after working here uh, in UK for 5 years, more than 5 years, I think overall it has increased my confidence. So I think you can only do it when you give it when you basically push yourself. When you let us say if you have the chance to move out, and if you let us say get a job, or if you are in a process uh, to basically come, and you're thinking whether you should do it or not, I think you should definitely come here. It will definitely help you a lot in terms of your confidence, purely in terms of confidence. Of course, you may learn a lot of other things. You will learn about a lot of other cultures which I just mentioned, but I think confidence wise is something which personally for me it has really benefited me. Now I think I can work with anyone. I mean, of course, I was able to work with anyone before as well, but now I know that I need to be a bit more sensitive about few things. I should not say few things that might offend others, and I think uh, you can only learn about these things when you have worked with people from all over the world. And overall, I think in terms of my career, in terms of where I am right now, working in London, in UK, it looks of course really nice on your resume. And I think when if you are applying for a new job, or if you're doing anything in your life, maybe you're running a business like me, I think this experience working in London, working in UK is going to help you a lot. It will massively boost your career. Now, of course, talking about career, there are plenty of jobs in UK. I mean, if I purely just talk about IT, there are so many jobs. I mean, of course, if you compare IT in US, especially California region, San Jose, Silicon Valley, it's not really that level. But UK has, especially London, has a lot of financial organizations, a lot of banks, lot of industries focused on dealing with money. And because everything, or I should say, in 2022, IT is part of each and every company. So there are a lot of jobs, there are a lot of opportunities for you to basically uh, establish yourself, grow yourself. And at the same time, if you're worried about, let us say you're coming here for studies, I don't really see any reason why you wouldn't get a job here in UK, because there is a demand. And just like any other developed country, UK is also short of resources. So don't worry about the jobs at all. There are plenty of jobs, plenty of opportunities here in London and UK. Now, talking about the standard of living, I think I mean, again, there's no comparison. But even if you have to compare, uh, I think standard of living in UK as a whole is far better than a lot of other countries. And there are things where UK definitely shines. For example, if you like natural beauty, so UK is really beautiful, especially the countryside. And even I mean, if you talk about, for me, I really prefer good internet connection. So even if you're living in a small town or a small village somewhere in UK, you will definitely get internet connection. And forget about power outages, or forget about water situation. I mean, you can actually drink water from the tap. So I think for me, I mean, of course, everyone is looking for different things, but for me, these things are more than enough. But of course, if you do your own research online, you can see these parameters. For example, the average household income is 33 USD, 33,000 USD, which is definitely decent. And employment rate in UK is also good. Safety wise, I think it is all right. I mean, of course, there are safe and unsafe areas everywhere, and you have to be careful. You have to be, don't do anything stupid. But at the same time, you have some expectations from from a city or a place where you're going to live. And overall it is safe. I don't really think I ever had any issues. People are nice, to be honest, and I never really faced any problems with anyone being rude to me. I mean, of course, I'm from Delhi, and if you know people from Delhi, we are really tough guys. But at the same time, I think after coming to UK, my stress level. I mean, to be honest, I'm hardly stressed about anything. I'm chilled out person, but still, if you're worried about small things, then it is going to give you a lot of tensions. But UK is overall very nice, peaceful, and stress-free. At least for me. I mean, things might be different, but overall it is good. If I have to summarize, standard of living is definitely really nice. Now the next point is uh, about the situation where you may come to UK for a while and then you may want to go back. I mean, the thing is that I've given you so many reasons, but at the same time, things can always change. But if you're coming from a country like India, you can always go back, right? I mean, no one is going to stop you. I mean, if you look at this article from Economic Times, I was basically reading about it that there are, I mean, if you talk about number of people outside uh, like their home country, India has like 18 million, which is quite a lot. And I think plenty of them actually live in UK. But the uh, good thing about this situation is that you can always go back. I would recommend that if you come out and if you are living in a country like UK or US, or if you're living if you get the opportunity to live outside India and you are doing good, then you should always try to uh, give back. For example, I have a company in India. I'm trying to grow that company. I'm trying to, of course, invest back in India. Even if you generate employment, then I think that is probably going to help India a lot, because you are going to bring dollars back to country. You're basically injecting money in your own home country. But again, you can always go back. That is the thing, right? If you, let us say, are bored, let us say after living outside for 10 years or 5 years, if you think you're done, you're probably missing India too much, just go back, right? No one is going to stop you. Good thing about UK is that I mean, of course, even if you get a settlement status in UK, or if you get the passport, British passport, you always have the option to get your I mean, if you get the passport, then you have to return the Indian passport and you have to get the OCA card. But in both the cases, whether you return your Indian passport or not, because you are coming from India, you have come from India, you can always go back whenever you want. So you have that right. That is something really good, and this is something that I think a lot of people think about. I know a lot of not a lot of, but I know some people, they have moved back, or they basically have two different locations. They also operate from India and also from UK. And a lot of people here in UK, I mean, if you do some online search, and if you I'm sure you have done your research, right? People complain a lot about UK weather. I mean, yes, it rains a lot. Yes, it is usually cold throughout the year. But to be honest, UK is a beautiful country. I mean, when the weather is nice, it is really nice. I think it is I don't really know what is the definition of a perfect weather, but when the temperature is 20 degrees here, and if you're living outside, I mean, if you live outside London, then you're lucky, because the UK countryside is really beautiful. But to be honest, if you're complaining about the weather, I think it is probably a bit too much, because first of all, it is never really that cold in UK. I mean, it's really a wrong impression. I mean, for example, if you're living in around London, or let us say, if you look at the map of UK, if you look at London is in the south, and even the whole UK, it is never really minus 10, I mean minus 5. I think in London area, temperature never really goes below -1, -2. I mean, yes, it is never really that cold. And more than the temperature, it is more about the wind and the rain. It is definitely bothering, but at the same time, I mean, just wear a couple of jackets and you're fine. So I don't really think cold and depressing weather is really that depressing. I think it is probably unfair, but also look at the bright side. The summers here in UK is wonderful. It's like absolutely beautiful weather during summertime. Only few months, but you have enough time to enjoy it. And the last thing that I will say, a good thing about UK is that if you come to UK, especially if you're coming from, let us say, Delhi, I never really got the opportunity to even change the tire of my car. I never really did any paint in my house. I never really do any. I mean, of course, I've done few DIYs, but never really too much. I mean, I know how to fix my computer. I know how to do things on electronic devices, but I can probably fix something that has a circuit, but I never really got the opportunity, or to be honest, I never really had to do any DIY. So in UK, there is a concept of DIY. So basically, you have to do everything yourself because the labor is too expensive. For example, if I have to ask someone to paint my room or paint my house, they can do that, but they will also charge a lot of money, and that is why people prefer to do DIY. I think it's really a good thing. I think labor should be expensive, or because in UK there is a concept of minimum wage. So even if you are hiring someone to do something in your house, you have to pay them that minimum wage. So that is why people do things on their own. For example, doing paint in the house, or maybe doing repairs, doing gardening, cutting the grass. I think I don't really do it a lot because I don't really get a lot of time. But I think it is a wonderful opportunity to learn these basic life skills, and I have now started enjoying it. So this is something that I also wanted to mention, because this is also a learning in a different way. It may not be directly related to your work, your career, but it will definitely going to help you, which I think I never really did back in India. I mean, I should have, but again, things are different back home. You can always pay someone to do this, house paint or basic repairs. But here in UK, you have to do it yourself, which I think is a good thing. And these are all the reasons. I think I have given you 10 reasons, but do let me know if this video was useful or not useful, especially if you're coming or if you're considering coming to UK. So that is all I wanted to talk about and share in this video. I hope you found this video useful and you learned something new today. Thank you very much. Bye bye.